What is you crazy mother?
What's good, everyone? I'm back again this week, and I am continuing this series in which I give you guys a basic overview of how a particular aspect of video games work. One video is already out. It explains projectiles. Go check that out if you haven't. In today's video, I'm going to be going over how shaders work. Now, keep in mind, this is only a basic overview of how shaders work. Now, if you were new to level design, you may think that a shader is like paint on an object, paint on a mesh. It doesn't do much. All it does is give color. Now, that is partially true. It does give color to a mesh that it is applied to. And I forgot to explain this in the last video, but a mesh is a complex object basically made using a lot of polygons. I mean, it may be simple. It could be a simple sphere or a cube, or it could be something complex like a tree. So, I'll get to that when I get to the video about geometry. Now, back to shaders. Shaders are basically assets which give color to a mesh at a basic level. But, shaders run deeper than just color, because shaders have a lot of stuff incorporated within them. Most people think merely of textures when they talk about shaders, and that's not the truth. Textures are a part of shaders. And for those of you who don't know what a texture is, a texture at its core is an RGB image of, well, anything. Any picture can be considered as a texture. It can be used in a shader and can be used in the game world as such. I mean, you can use any image. When you see wood in a video game, it is a part of a shader, and that shader has a texture of wood in it. A texture which only came because someone actually took a block of wood and took a picture of that block of wood. But textures, although they're the most visible part of a shader, they're not the only thing that goes inside a shader. The other most crucial part of a shader is the normal map. Now, the normal map is, well, a fuzzy little blue image. It's a blued out version of the texture, but a game engine or a 3D modeling package would make use of that normal map and give you that extra depth that a lot of objects in the real world tend to have. Now, let's just assume that you're working on a sci-fi video game and you want to have a meteor that comes in and hits the Earth. Now, that meteor will not be perfectly spherical or will not be a perfect cube, anything of that sort. Now, you could, and you would go into a 3D modeling package and give it that realistic shape, but there will be certain holes in it, that stuff that will be pretty hard to give if you were only making use of that particular 3D modeling package. And that's where normal maps come in. So you're gonna take a normal map and you will add, and your texture should contain those holes, and the normal map will basically tell the game engine or the 3D modeling package that, hey, there's a hole here, so add that extra depth here. Now, shaders are even more diverse in the fact that they can be used to give that subtle animation. Some like a fireball, and you can take a fire texture and animate it inside your shader and put it on a sphere and add a little particle effects. But you usually want fire with particle systems, and particle systems also tend to have shaders. So shaders are basically used everywhere inside a video game. They are the most important aspect of a video game, in the fact that your suspension of belief, the fact that you actually believe that you are inside a video game, is more or less because of the shaders that a game employs, and therefore there is a lot to be said in praise of shaders. Now, for those of you who are curious as to what a particle system is, a particle system is basically a simulation of chaotic stuff. I mean, basically, because stuff like fire, smoke, sparks, these chaotic systems that would take a lot of time to render if you were to actually consider every single one of these particles and render them. Now, I'll have another video about particle systems that'll come out later, so I suggest you stay tuned. Make sure you hit the like button, leave me a subscribe, and tell me what you thought about the video. If there's certain stuff that you did not understand or certain questions that popped up, just leave me a comment and I will answer. Until next time, this is your main man, Freeman Process, signing out.